Alright, more cooking adventures. We are going to make a quinoa and vegetable stew. Now let's just show you the recipe. So, we're going to have one onion, a bell pepper. We're using olive oil, not canola oil. Of course, we'll have the salt and pepper. Garlic, yep. Paprika, coriander, yep. Cumin. Calls for vegetable broth. My store was out of it. The good store was out of it, so we're going to use beef broth because I happen to have some. Pound of red potatoes. Well, I don't have any red potatoes. I got some nice Yukon Golds that came in our vegetable box this week. Quinoa, have that, and then I have frozen corn, some fresh tomatoes. Yep, got that. Frozen peas, going to do that. Then cilantro and avocado, got all that. So that's what's in there. So here's where we're starting. Here's your onions, your garlic, your red pepper, your red bell pepper, tomatoes, quinoa, and then all the spices. So the first thing we need to do is put the onion, the bell pepper, and the oil into our Dutch oven. Go. Do. Yeah, you know, about that much. We're on, where are we on? You know, like medium to medium-high heat. Probably should dial that down just a touch. Alright, and then we go with the onion and the bell pepper. Alright, so that's in. We're going to turn our heat down to kind of medium-low. I'm going to put in a couple pinches of salt. Give that a good stir. And then we are going to throw the cover on this thing for 8 to 10 minutes until it looks really good. So there's your time. Yep, won't focus. There we go. Alright, we're 5 minutes in. Let's have a peek. Give her a stir. Cooking down nicely. Give them a couple more minutes and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, we're just about 10 minutes in. And that's looking good. Oh. Get rid of the lid there. So what we got to do now is get our garlic in. And then all of our spices in. And these need about 30 seconds or so to get nice and fragrant. You know, if you had smell-o-vision on your YouTubes, you'd be all good with seeing and smelling just how good this is at the moment. And since it's kind of almost fall, yeah, exactly. Okay. I'll let that go. I'm going to whack up the heat just a bit. Actually, it'll go up more in a second here, because what we need to do now is we are going to add 6 cups of broth. So I know there's 4 cups in this, but you know. For those of you who are engineers, and everything needs to be done precisely. 4. And yes, as you know, as we said, if you really want to make this vegetarian/vegan, you can just use vegetable broth. But like I said, the store we go to, it's usually, you know, got all the good stuff. Didn't have any. Of course, it was Sunday, so. Alright, so there's that. We've turned the heat up. Yeah, there you go. Yes, we're really cooking with gas here. Alright, so that's on high. And then the next thing we need to do is get our potatoes in. So, roughly, I don't know, a pound, probably a little more than that, of potatoes. Slide those all in there. And what we need to do now is bring this up to a boil. So, there's no need to put the lid back on, just gonna let it come up to a boil here. Just getting the heat up. And we'll wait till it gets to a boil, and then we're gonna turn it down a little bit to a nice simmer. Alright, so we're finally up to a boil here. Just give her a nice stir again. And then now we're going to bring this down to a simmer. And we need to let that go for 10 minutes, so 10 minutes. Alright, next up, 1 cup of quinoa. This is red quinoa. So I'm just going to put that in. And we're going to, of course, stir it around a little bit as you would expect. And now this needs to go for 8 minutes. And then we go to the next step after that. So I'd say that's good enough for now, and back in 8. Alright, we're getting close now. Next up, bag of corn. Frozen corn. So, throw that in. Stir that in a bit. You see this thing's starting to thicken up a little bit. Get some nice body to it, for lack of a better word. Starting to smell pretty good. Alright, this one's going to need to go for 7-8 minutes again. I'm waiting for the potatoes to kind of finish softening up, finish their cooking. And then we'll be back to add peas and maybe even a little cilantro to this at that time. So we'll check back in about 7-8 minutes. Alright, getting close. I was wrong, not cilantro. We need to put our tomatoes in, but first I'm going to put in our peas. Yeah, bag of peas. How much? Yeah, about 12 ounces. Cup, whatever. Something like that. Oops, how about focusing on the food? Alright, so peas are going to go in. And then I'm going to push in our tomatoes. Alright, so these only need a couple minutes here. So we're going to stir those in. Now you can see it's getting quite thick with all the good stuff in here. Nice color to it. Tried a little bit of the broth here a minute ago. That was nice, little bit of a kick to it, but not a ton. But you know, hey. It's good stuff. Alright, so this has just got to cook another couple minutes. And then essentially we're done, and at that point we're going to put in a little bit of cilantro. And then normally we'd show you, so we'd serve it up, and what you do at that point is throw in a little, maybe a little avocado on top, or if you can get it, a little queso fresco. But we're actually making this for tomorrow. So I'm not gonna have time to make dinner tomorrow, and so we're gonna actually throw the cilantro in there so it actually has some time to flavor it a little bit overnight. But then just throw it in the fridge, and then we'll heat it up in the morning, heat it up tomorrow night for dinner. So that is it. Give it a shot. Try it out. It's super simple. It's really good. It's the second or third time I'm making this, so I like it. It's really good.